Are you serious? Are you serious? My hands are trembling. Whoa! Why? Because, calm down, but Henry Kissinger, the former Secretary of State under Richard Nixon, the architect, the father of the Illuminati, of the New World Order, is going to meet with President-elect Donald Trump in a closed-door meeting. I believe Trump will be basically receive a presentation from Kissinger on the Illuminati Playbook. It could be disturbing for Trump. It could be eye-opening for Trump. It could be disturbing for Trump. And I think Kissinger is going to want to see Trump's reaction, his body English. And maybe there's even a subtle threat in there as well for Trump. Also, Trump wants to pick the brain of Henry Kissinger, I'm sure. I mean, I would sit down with Henry Kissinger and pick his brain. I would love to see what his worldview is. And I also know I would never buy into it. Well, there's an old saying, you hold your friends close and your enemies closer. Let's just find out what happens if we can get anything. But here is some analysis of what might be going to happen here. You see, Henry Kissinger was in China. He just met with President Jinping, and the Taiwan phone call that has got the Chinese a little nervous. Is Trump trying to change is he trying to bring a new paradigm to the worldview by saying it's no longer the status quo, by challenging the jobs that have fled America and forcing tariffs to bring them back? How does this all play out with the Chinese? What about China's position with North Korea? What about China building their own naval bases out in the middle of the South China Sea? What about a lot of things that have to go with the Chinese-American relationship? Well, former Secretary of State Henry Kissinger will meet with President-elect Donald Trump today. Kissinger served under President Richard Nixon and Gerald Ford. He will meet with Trump, and it says here Kissinger also just met with China's President Jinping on this past Friday. Then he flies into America, and it says some say it's an attempt to ease the concerns there are about the incoming Trump administration. Also, the meeting came as Trump took a phone call with Taiwan's president, a break with decades of U.S. foreign policy that could cause friction between the United States and China. Now, we found out this morning that Bob Dole, former senator, former presidential candidate Bob Dole, set up the phone call between the president of Taiwan and President-elect Donald Trump. So there's no question. Trump is sending a message. There's a new sheriff in town, and there's a whole new way we're going to play. And it's not out of the pages of the Illuminati playbook. It's not, Trump is not at all wanting to build a new world order. And this is causing the global elitist their heads are spinning. What? I mean, seriously, because this is messing up the system. So Trump also met with Robert McFarlane, who served as President Ronald Reagan's national security advisor from 1983 to 1985. He also met last night with Al Gore, former Vice President Al Gore. He let Al Gore come in and pitch his climate change agenda. I'm sure Trump listened and asked some questions, picked his brain. Al Gore, when he left, said it was a very interesting conversation. We all know that Trump is totally against man-made global warming, but can recognize that there is some changes in climate, but it's not from man-made. It's God instituted. And if you don't think God can affect the weather, the earthquakes, the storms. You haven't read the Bible. The strong east wind that parted the Red Sea, the brimstone that fell to help Joshua win a battle. Are you serious? Are you the whirlwind that took Elijah into the heavens? What? Stopping the rain, sending droughts to get Israel to repent of its pagan worship? Are you serious? We could go on and on and on and on and on. Certainly. And matter of fact, I did a television show a couple months ago, and you can watch it on YouTube, on the 7 prophetic earthquakes. And I break down for you 7 earthquakes that happened in the world, that happened at absolutely gigantic moments in biblical history and biblical prophecy. So believe me, God is in control. He's in control. Anyway, let's wait and see if we can get any details from this meeting from the father of the New World Order, Henry Kissinger, as he meets with President-elect Donald Trump. Are you serious?